Yeah, I think the important thing to see here is going to be what happens to that Drones Never Die top end, the Lashak and the Vindicator. If the DPS top end of When to Delete Marauder can push through that before they get on top of it, it's going to have, that's going to be the key to decide this fight.
Yeah, they are cruise rattlesnakes as well, which is kind of funky. So there's a lot of sustained DPS against battleships there.
Look at the rapier going in there. Going in there
yeah,
as a screener.
He's kind of ramming. Oh, there's also sentry drones down from the rattlesnakes, and they're Tech 1 drones. So I think with the rapier, they'll still be doing some pretty good damage. They are going straight on the Lashak, though they're trying to screen off that Vindicator as well.
Look at that, though. In the third, 1/3 of his armor already down here.
That's a lot of damage. Even with Tech 1 drones, it's bonus rattlesnakes. I will say something to look at here is they have there looks like they're doing omni damage because we got both curators, bouncers, and then the rattlesnakes probably splitting. So there's not really any way to they're messing with the reactive hardener. It's pretty smart on that. It's the only thing that I would say would keep a Lashak alive. But yeah, those two little Logi frigates are just not doing too much. There's a lot of rep drones out right now, so they might start pulling back here. But yeah, that Rapier is screening really, really well. The Raptor's actually kind of like the Skybreaker and the Raptor are having their own little tackle duel off to the side. So Drones is having trouble figuring out like how exactly to get in there.
Yeah, I'm wondering what this Vexor, what this Pontifex, what this Magus are really doing right now. They need to be going in there and trying to make plays, and they're all just holding back in this sort of defensive pattern, letting the red team sit near the edge of the arena. They're kind of close to one of those jump beacons as well. They have the maneuverability advantage here, and they can fire from pretty much anywhere on the arena. Right now, it's just a grind fest, and eventually those deacons are going to run out of cap.
So the Lashaks are actually taking out sentry drones right now, which in theory, if they take all of them down, they could cut the DPS of those rattlesnakes probably by about, I guess, 800 to 1,000. I don't know exactly how much a T1 sentry drone does on a rattlesnake, because how often do you have that happen? The Raptor and the Skybreaker have actually tackled each other off in a corner, and I'm wondering if, it looks like When to Delete Marauder is going to take that Skybreaker out really quickly here, or at least they're turning and trying to swat it. So Tang is probably going to go down here. Oh, actually, he slingshotted himself out of tackle, so maybe he's going to be able to get away here.
Oh.
No,
not quite, not quite.
He tried.
Yeah, that has given the Lashak a bit of a chance to regain some of its buffer, though, and a couple of stray shots there landing on Lambert and Nirvana. I don't think they're going to hot swap, though. Or I could be wrong.
They might. I'm not sure if that was exactly the best thing. I think it might have just been some miscommunication, but drones, they're having so much trouble pushing through that rapier, and I think that at some point you need to just kind of ram here. It looks like they're sort of pulling the Lashak of Alt. He's kind of pulling back now. He did go all the way to the back of their team and just has a huge swarm of rep drones on him. So I don't know. They're very slowly pushing on top of the sentries, and they've actually dropped the sentries and swapped over to ogres. At least one of them has. So we'll see. That's probably a little bit more difficult just to take out with Lashaks and gives them higher DPS.
Well, here we go, though. Cafu Chino in the Pontifex going in for a tackle play, looks like.
He's actually
the web hasn't landed.
Right, yeah, he's going to get that rapier. He's like maybe 5k off him right now.
Oh, he snuck in there.
Yeah,
you see, that was what I was talking about.
Yeah, no, it was a really good call on that. And it is a shield rapier, so, it's a little too late to get the paints and the webs on him. The one thing is, though, because they're using logistics frigates, it's going to be hard for them to actually keep him alive. So I think they're actually just going to pop the Pontifex. It was great tackle play on his part. I'm not sure if they were really ready for it. We'll see if he's able to hold on. And he does go down. It looked like he got rep drones or reps on him at the last second. But we'll see if that's enough for them to get on top of the rapier and start doing some serious damage here. And they do have the rapier webbed. So, yeah, I think he might have died for a good reason there.
Yeah, it took a couple of seconds. It took a couple of seconds, though, but it looks like the Magus has pushed up as well. They are starting to get engaged here. It looks like the Stalk of Cotton, he's right in the middle of them. They should be able to scram something down here, maybe even that Rattlesnake. If they can start pressuring here, it's probably worth the trade of their command destroyers, because those boosts will last for a long enough time. They are still going to be repping and tanking at the same level as before for a little bit longer, and that rapier is going into low shields here.
Yeah, both of the Leshaks are spooled up on him. I think that it looks to me like he's trying to. They are taking down Lambert right here at the same time. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to survive. It looks like they've spread their rep drones a little poorly, so hopefully they can fix that and get him brought back up before they lose their Leshak, which does not happen. So he does go down, but the other Leshak is spooled up on that rapier, and it's entirely possible he's going to solo through this. Leshaks are weird, where just because there's only one of them doesn't mean they can't still destroy everything. So we might see that.
Yeah, I'm really worried about this, though. They need to keep that Leshak alive. If they can't keep that Leshak alive, they aren't going to win this DPS race, not with 3 battleships left on the field.
Yeah, he's actually going down quite quickly here. They do take the rapier out, but that might be a little too little, or a little bit too late there. It might have been a good idea for them to just try and burn through a rattlesnake or scorpion, because that second Leshak is dropping really, really fast here. Now that they have the ability to focus everything on it, and logistics frigates, maybe they just don't have the repping power to keep them alive.
Yeah, with that second Leshak goes down, I think that's probably any hope of victory here for Drones Never Die. So it becomes down to basically just fighting for honor at this point, trying to make sure that you don't go out without taking a few more things down with you.
Yeah, we did talk about this yesterday. I was kind of joking about how sometimes you get into this situation where you have a setup like this where like you have 3 minutes left and you're hoping like, well, I think you asked me, you're like, how could Drones Never Die possibly come back from this? But they are actually sitting at about 110 km, so they're kind of close to the boundary. We joke about like, oh, maybe they'll boundary this. There's a possibility here. We've seen some weird stuff with this.
That jackdaw is right on the edge of it too.
He's really close. I don't think it's going to happen, but they did kite straight away. I really like how When Did Elite Marauder played, like just basically taking their little drone ball and flying straight back. Not even really a drone ball, but the 2 rattlesnakes and their missile ships. Not sure how viable that would be against other things, but they did ban out quite a bit of different things that generally would prevent. Like they banned out the curse, which would make the rattlesnakes really bad. They banned out the sentinel, which would make the rattlesnakes really bad. Like When to Delete Marauder definitely had a game plan here, and I think they did a pretty good job executing it.
Yeah, the thing I have to question though is what the hell were those Vexers supposed to do in this comp? Because they weren't using really any utility that we saw. They weren't getting in there. They don't seem like they're particularly tanky. Were they just pure drone kite things, like just throw some light drones on a frigate and kite back?
So traditionally, I need to actually look and see if they have guns before I say it. But traditionally, a Vexer in an armor setup, it's basically just a pretty solid utility tackle for low points. So yeah, they do not have guns on them. So the Vexers, I'm guessing that they're full like Newton-Os high slots. You can fit a Scram Web, Cat Booster, and an MWD on it, and then the drone bay actually lets them fly a full set of medium rep drop, or carry several full sets of medium rep drones. And rep drones are very, very powerful. I think one of the reasons why these Leshaks live so long is only because of the rep drones. Because with 2 cruise rattlesnakes and Navy Scorpion, like that's kind of insane DPS. It's one of those things you don't really see a lot on TQ, so it's hard to really quantify it. But I would guess it's probably about 5,000 to 6,000 DPS right there. And they were cruise rattles, since somebody was asking. Yeah, in chat.
No, that's absolutely true. And here we're just waiting for the final 2 logistics frigates to die. Absolutely nothing they could do to survive this level of DPS.
Yeah, they're gonna take a little bit to go down, but in fact, I'm kind of surprised about how quickly they're dropping here. But I guess with all the webs and the paints on them, they're able to take them out pretty quickly, because those cruises definitely aren't going to do anything, and that does make When to Delete Marauder win 100-11. I believe both of these teams were actually, I think they
lost their first games.
Their first games, yeah. So because unless Drones Never Die is able to win one, and then when Delete loses their next match, I think that means that Drones may be out, but not 100% on that yet. Got to figure it out.